What's up, guys? It's David here with 12 Volt Technologies again. Just bringing you along on another one. This one we're doing a 2018 Cadillac XT5 and a Blackview DR900X Plus front and rear dash camera. Just unboxing all the stuff here and prepping the wiring to get tossed into the vehicle. Gonna get that micro SD card installed so it's ready to go once we get it mounted. Never worked on one of these before, so we're doing a little bit of poking around, hoping to find the fuse box. Did actually turn out to be underneath this side of the center console. I've got my trainee with me on this job, so you might see me explaining some stuff that seems a bit obvious and kind of getting hands-on going through wiring diagrams and teaching them how to figure out circuit design and vehicle disassembly.
No, I'm taking a guess here. And if my guess is wrong, then my guess is wrong. Oh man, those are really in there. Yeesh. Oh yeah, there's a fuse box. These metal clips, really in there. And they go into plastic. Be cautious with that. Back there.
Oh.
See it back there in that corner? Yeah. Also from here, this is a cigarette lighter. So we should be able to grab the plug that goes into the back of that, assuming that that is switched. So that's going to be the next test. We want to see if that's a switched lighter or a full-time lighter. Not much access inside of there. Okay, now we can ever so slightly get this thing out. Beautiful. Lots of space to run stuff, lots of access to that fuse box.
Yeah, so
that is perfect. So everything, this is a relay. See how it says ignition main relay?
Yeah.
Everything coming off of this relay on 87 is going to be something that's only on with the ignition. So what I would do is I'd look for cigarette lighter in there and then see what the cigarette lighter's attached to.
Yeah, that's right.
It's probably going to be called PowerPoint or something along those lines.
Here goes up.
Yep,
and then
comes down through that fuse.
Yep, and then
up over there, and what's that say? Retained accessory power.
Yeah.
So that means that's an accessory circuit.
So that's switched, right?
So that's switched.
Okay.
So just like that, we know exactly where the fuse box is. We know a switched ignition circuit that we can tie into.
I think that's a breakthrough.
You're getting there. That's what we want to see, my man. It might be easier to go down the passenger side. Question there would be these grommets. Which one of these feels like they got the most stuff in it? I would probably want to use this one and not this one.
Because this is more vacant?
Yeah, I got more space.
Right.
I'd fish the straight to here. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So I like to put the right angles on the camera, like this. Once we figure out where he's gonna live, we can kind of tape this together.
Okay.
And then put this in the split, and then figure out how much length we need before we do another split, and then they come off. We could put the camera down here. How's that look from the driver's seat? Horrible?
I can see it a little bit.
But not bad? Not as bad as this?
Yeah, that's like...
That's bad, yeah. We could also put it way up here, like this. In which case...
the least in the way would still probably be like right here, because I can't see that at all now.
Okay, perfect. But it's going to be pretty easy to route a cable kind of up along the edge and in.
I also think that's going to give the best vision too, so it's centered, right?
So let's get her stuck on.
Oh, let me get some alcohol.
Cool. Okay, so now she's stuck down. I like to kind of rotate them a little bit, right?
Try and force the bubbles out.
Yep. And then you want to kind of try and make the body horizontal like that. And then we got a solid game plan for how much wire we need to loom, right? About an elbow to a hand's width. So let's go back and get that loomed up.
Should we put those connected to that first?
We can, yeah.
Just for, or do you, because I'm worried about the movement and stuff.
Well, we're gonna use the flexible bit.
Okay.
So we're gonna go flex, and we're gonna do about an elbow's length. So we wanna just kind of have those approximate. So we only have this one loop back here at the bottom, and then you wanna kind of feed that whole thing in.
So now that we've made a game plan for where to mount the camera, we've sorted out the cable lengths approximately and getting them loomed and ready to go into the car.
Did you add that little tape loop?
Yeah. Okay. I just need to pull on the back too.
There she is.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah, pretty easy. They're metal clips, so you do have to be careful, but there's plenty of room. I'll get out of your way so you can try and fish it. There you go. There you go. We want to make sure that the camera cable goes on the correct side of the airbag. That other cable is going to go down the rest of the length.
Yeah.
You see these clips in here? So you could disassemble these clips to route the power wire through, but it's going to be easier to just fish them through the opens. Okay. And then once we get them, you know, kind of down towards the dash, this side cap will come off. Yep, so I got some very aggressive clips. Nice, and then this guy's gonna stay again. See, if I push this in, see, it'd be on the wrong side of that clip.
Yeah.
So we gotta just scoot it, make sure it's on the right side of the clip. But we can make a little bit of space by pulling it.
Oh yeah, that's perfect.
And then just tuck her down in.
And then just scoot it along.
Yeah, and then scoot it into the car. There you go. Perfect. So probably the next step is going to be seeing about taking that B pillar out so we can get fish points, and then getting the C pillar out, and then fish points, and then getting the rubber seal out. So if you want, I can start pulling up some service data on the C pillar. If I had to guess, I'd say that airbag cover is going to pop out and there's going to be an 8mm behind it, but that's just a loose guess. Behind you, there's another pop cap that's going to have another 8mm in it, and then it's going to be a fish basically back to here. I'm going to work on getting this power wire over. If that works for you, we can double down and make some progress here pretty quick.
So now we're both independently working on cable runs in the car. He's routing that rear camera cable back to the camera body in the rear door, and I'm working on getting the power wire fished through the driver's side of the vehicle, around all the obstacles.
Yeah, I think it is just this 8mm and some clip.
Okay.
And then we're taking a bit of stuff apart to make sure that this cable stays nice and secure up and away from the pedals. Cleanly routed over to that factory fuse box. And right here we jump into the rear door disassembly. We need to get all this paneling off since our wiring needs to run with the original factory wiring. We're going to take apart this rubber seal here so that all of our wiring stays inside of the factory wiring channels and is 100% weather protected. If you don't do this the right way up here, you can actually lead to water ingress into the vehicle. It can be a big problem. For some reason, I see people poke holes in these rubber grommets and run the wire on the outside. That would definitely lead to water. Definitely don't want that.
So now we're fished to there. And then we're gonna, yep, go ahead and slide her through. Then we're gonna go like this.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and give that a pull. And then we're gonna go ahead and seat that guy down. There you go, beautiful. Perfect. Now we're through the rubber boot. I like to seat these guys. So I start at a hard side and then kind of pull my way around here. That's a bit better. And then Ta-da! Now she's in, weather sealed. Yeah, we want to avoid this. This is the windshield wiper motor.
So over, right?
Yeah, I'd come up this way. I'd follow this. But what I would do is I'd take, since you got so much length here, I would take most of this length and put this like this, and then tie up this length over here.
Okay.
Where it's out of the way and keeps it serviceable.
In like one bundle, or just like...
Yeah, I mean, it's coax, so you want gentle sweeping bends. Yeah. You know, light zip tying, not really reefing on it, but yeah, that's the idea. While you're doing that, I'm gonna work on this, getting this guy back in. We got our main power tagged right here. Got the power for the cigarette lighter. We got an inline fuse. We're gonna loop up all this extra so that she's not dangling in the wind.
We just added a bit of solder and heat shrink to the factory wiring for the cigarette lighter here. It's fuse protected upstream, but you can see we also add a inline fuse at a rating more appropriate for the dash camera here. Now we just take this excess wiring and tidy it up a bit, zip it back and secure it to the factory loom. That way it doesn't rattle around or make any noise back inside of this cavity. That new fuse inline for the dash camera is just as accessible as the factory fuse, since this side panel does have to come off to get to any of the fusing.
Okay, we gotta stick this guy back down in here. Not looking in the right spot yet. I gotta hook that, and then rotate that hook in. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, beautiful. She's back together. We're headed the right direction here. Yeah, I put some abrasive tape on it.
So we're just going to add some heat-resistant abrasive tape to help protect that coaxial cable for the rear camera, since it's going to be sandwiched between the glass and the plastic paneling. Just kind of helps extend the life of that cable as much as possible.
So we got an alignment pin down here. We got this upper pin. There we go. And this guy goes up in here, up in there, up in there. Perfect. All right, let's get the rear camera stuck on here.
Okay. Did I leave enough cable?
Yeah, it's perfect, man. It's like exactly perfect. I'm gonna go grab the keys and we'll get it turned on and give it a test.
At this point, all the wiring in the car is connected, both of the cameras are in, and all we gotta do is connect the phone and make sure that the firmware is configured correctly. We're just panning over the install here, so you can see the wire runs. Back here you can see the rear camera mounting and how it flexes and kind of moves with the factory door. Not too shabby. We're just gonna jump here onto the software and take a look at the footage, make sure it's looking good. Thanks again for coming along with us on this one. If you guys have any feedback for me, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. I really appreciate it.